Sairam, the today's topic of discussion and deliberation, the Chintan Manthan, is the consistent and constant recreation of the body, how it happens, what exactly happens, right? This is the topic of discussion today. Now, when we are born, from we are in the womb of the mother and we are in a sack or a bag of packed with our cells which are so much engaged in building the body, stem cells, right? Stem cells are packed in mother's womb, so we are inside of it, and we are literally floating in the fluid of stem cells, and then we are born. The delivery happens and we are born. So what happens is the continuation, which we talk about growth. We consume the food first from the mother, then subsequently we start eating the external food, and then as we grow, we start consuming the body. I mean, sorry, consuming the food, and the body starts growing. Now, this is the natural process. So the growth happens, and we feel that there is a stagnation at one particular level. When we reach a mid age, then the body starts degenerating. It keeps coming down. Its vitality comes down, its strength, we start growing old, in other words. From infancy to the peak of our youth, then the decline begins. And this is a natural process. But during this course, we need to understand one thing which consistently is happening is the body is shedding itself every moment, and the new cells in the body are being created. For example, highest amount of dust which is in the house will be your skin. You're consistently shedding your skin, and the new skin is being made. You shed your hair, the follicles are there, new hair strand is grown. Likewise, the body consistently sheds, and new cells are being made. So this is the process. And when this is happening in full force and vigor with all the vitalities, so you're peaking towards your absolute youthfulness, your optimum, youth, they say, youthful, your strength and your vitality, your entire of your presence, everything is very optimal. It's brilliant. You're very healthy. You're growing up. You're 28, 29 years old, 30 years old, or whatever. Then at some stage, yeah, there is a small difference between male and female of the species. Female, women start regressing faster than men. Women are soon after 30, men soon after 40. This is how it happens. Now, what is this happening is a consistent division of cells within the body, and that is helping. Those cells are the ones which are regrowing the organs in the body. Damaged tissues are grown again. It's all happening. The process is happening and naturally, and we are actually doing nothing. Even food that we eat is something. When the brain triggers that you're hungry, you eat. When the brain triggers that you're thirsty, you drink. But otherwise, if practically we are doing nothing. It's happening on its. Now, why is this growth happens and it decline happens? The cell will start multiplying and multiplying and multiplying, and then the growth happens and we come to our optimum physical state. And then the decline because the multiplication process of the cell slows down. The strength of the cell starts weakening. We start losing, the cells will start losing its efficacy slowly, very slowly. Let us a person is living for 100 years, for the first 50 years it's at optimal, say about 40, and then 40 to 60 it is consistent. Then the decline starts, and then by 100 the body is gone. This is how the process is. I'm just giving you a number of 100, that's it, for calculation. So the body optimal, complete, evolved, let's say at 40, for the next 20 years is a plateau, and then the decline begins. This is how the whole physical structure is. Now, why it happens? It's natural. The cells, they're multiplying, they are replacing the dead cells, and they are taking care of every organ. And whatever is the damaged part of the organ or tissue, it goes and replaces. So you are consistently shedding the body and new body is being created, and it is consistent process. Now at that plateau, everything is fine. It is happening in a systematic way. Soon after, once that plateau gets over, then the strength of cells multiplication starts declining. Once it starts declining, we call it as aging. Very factual. You see anybody who is till the age of 40 to 60, they are they are mostly stable. Let's say 40 to 55 or so. And once they touch, say, 60s, the decline is very rapid. It's so rapid that it will be surprising for the person himself or anybody. It's after 60, that's degeneration is very rapid because the cells will start dying. This is physical body. This is how the process is. Now, why? It is natural process, I agree. Can we extend the degeneration of the cells? Can we make sure that the strength of the cells to multiply itself is intact? Can we ensure that the body is in the plateau state for a longer passage of time? Yes, we can. The answer is yes. Simple answer is yes. How? First of all, why the degeneration happens? 1A, it is natural process. That is fine. One. Second, what are the catalysts? Positive catalyst as well as negative catalyst. What is the positive catalyst? Will make sure that the body will retain its plateau for a longer passage of time. Negative catalyst is something which will trigger in such a manner that the body degenerates very rapidly. What are the two things? First, let us talk about the positive catalysts. We have hormones in our body, four primary or five primary or hormones. Very primary. I'm not talking about all the hormones. Five primary. One is the cortisols. Second is dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphin. These are all happy hormones, four of them. Cortisol is a negative hormone. Now, the release of hormones is driven by what? The release of hormones is driven by our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts. Now, happy hormones comes with a pleasant experiences, pleasantness within us, pleasantness around us. What is cortisol? When is that released in the body? When there is a consistent stress. Of course, there is a positive aspect to cortisol as well. When there is your reflexes are based on cortisol, sudden release of cortisols. That is because suddenly if there is some danger or something, you have to act and react in a very quick and a swift manner. The fear, the panic, presence of mind and everything, it pushes. It's good. You need it. But consistently being stressed, consistently being worried, consistently being anxious is not good. That's where consistent release of cortisols are. So when it comes to these happy hormones, they are in a happy space, the gratitude, happiness, joy, helping somebody, helping yourself, relaxing, all these things. So this is the basic two things, right? Now we are talking about the positive part of the catalyst, which is these hormones, positive hormones, good hormones, happy hormones that consistently releases. So how do you make sure it happens? It you have to do certain things for the body. Watch what you eat. That is hardly any percentage of contribution in it. Yes, there is, of course it is. Meditation, keeping yourself calm. Of course, workouts, your walks, your jogs, your gym, and everything definitely helps, no doubt about it. But most important thing is the positive catalyst in your life is meditate. Stay calm. Don't be anxious. Easier said than done, but yes. The more and more at peace you are, the longer the body will last, healthier the body will remain. We know it. Everybody says that but we are understanding the science behind it today. When you are in a state of bliss, when you are in a state of meditation, you are in a meditative state. All your hormones are very neatly in a state of equilibrium. Nothing is in excess, nothing is deprived, or nothing is depleted. You are in a state of absolute calmness, sthita prajna. We are swaying from Ida Nadi to Pingala Nadi, Pingala to Ida. We are swaying between these two nadis. That is the cause of all our anxiousness, anxiety, fear, negative thoughts. When you are in Sushumna Nadi, when you are a Sthita Prajna, all the hormones are fine. When the hormones are fine, you are in a mentally, emotionally, psychologically, you are at peace, then the functioning of the body is excellent. Your multiplication of cells is very seamless. The strength of your cell is very strong, it increases. So the interference is your mind. Mind is the monkey. Mind is the one which makes a mess of everything. So this is a positive catalyst. Meditation, dhyana, exercise, eating the right kind of food. These are all, we are not doing anything to anybody, but we are favoring ourselves. So it is strongly advocated that you have to do all these things. But of all the things, highest effect on the body positively is your meditation, dhyana. Nothing can replace. Maybe 80% of your, rebuilding the body or regenerating the body is from meditation. Maybe other aspects will contribute about 20%. Now, coming to the negative catalysts, thoughts, fear, emotions, unhealthy eating. Unhealthy eating is very small. It contributes in a very small way. People may think that that is everything, but it is not actually that. It's the mind, it's the emotions, it's the thoughts, it's the feelings, it's about the, Shadvargas, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Your jealousy is one of the worst emotion to have. That jealousy is one thing which releases highest amount of cortisol, because once you're jealous, because why we are jealous is because once we are jealous about some situation or a person because who is in a much better position than you are in any aspect, financially, socially, academically, in any manner, and you are not able to be there in that position or outbeat that person. So that is why the jealousy comes in. And once the jealousy comes in, the frustration, helplessness. When the mind feels that it is helpless, it is complemented with an emotion of jealousy, highest release of cortisols, highest amount of release of cortisols, frustrations, frustration due to jealousy, helplessness, frustration due to helplessness. Any kind of a frustration because you are blocked, you're stuck, your mind, your emotions are stuck, you can't do, you are helpless, you can't do anything, you can't, outbeat the person or the situation one is in or the situation in itself. So what happens is you're frustrated, and that is a killer. That is the worst killer. This is what yogis and, Yoga Sutras, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra and all our saints, our spiritual masters, everybody have consistently said these Shadvargas, Arishadvargas, Kama, the lust. It's not just a physical lust that we are talking about. It is of desires, endless desires. Krodha, the anger. Lobha, the greed, endless amount of greed. Moha, the attachment. Mada, the ego. Matsarya, the jealousy. These are the 6 virtues which will kill us. Not virtues, sorry. 6 attributes. I beg your pardon. 6 attributes which we carry in ourselves is the one which is going to kill us. Both physically and spiritually. In both the ways. This is the one which is the cause of our downfall, degeneration, whatever you want to call. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. The lust, the anger, the greed, the attachment, ego, and jealousy. These are the ones which will influence the body. Once you're frustrated, once there is a consistent release of cortisols, once it is, the mind is not in a calmer space, your cells will start getting degenerated. The effectiveness, the multiplication of cells, the quality of cells, most important, the quality of cells. That's where it is. Now, there's one part of the cells we get extremely technical about it. These DNAs have this ends. I have mentioned it many a times. Ends, which is like, if a DNA, if you consider it as a shoestring or a shoelace, at the edge of it, there are, the 2 strong holds, the ones which hold the shoelace or the string strongly at the edges. Likewise, there are both the ends of your DNA is held by something called as telomeres. In the natural course of life, the strength of the telomeres and the length of the telomeres is determining the age Longevity. Actually, number of years is it's just a number. 30th birthday, 60th birthday, 90th birthday is just a number. Trust me, it is nothing to do with your physical state. That length of the telomere and the strength of the telomeres determine your quality of cells. It's consistently being produced. It starts shrinking, it starts becoming weak, you're growing old. That's it. Simply put, you're growing old. It's strong, it is long, it is holding the DNA strongly, you're young. You're not growing old. Now it is in a plateau, you are with your, whatever reasons, it is getting stronger, it is getting longer, you're growing young. The age is not necessarily driven by the lapse of time. No. Grossly mistake. It is determined by the length and the strength of the telomeres. We will take up telomeres as a separate subject for discussion another time. It's most interesting how it works. Now, what is affecting the telomeres length and strength? Is your state of emotion and mind. That is affecting your aging process. That is affecting the multiplication of your cells. Very simple. Actually, it is very simple. Now we have understood this. Now we move forward. Think of the human evolution. We are born with the four attributes of animals: procreation, hunger, fear, and sleep. That's all we were. That's it. Like any other animal today, procreation, reproducing, hunger, fear, sleep. These are four things. That's what we were. Wake up, hunt, guard yourself, eat, sleep, reproduce. This is the way all the animals are, and so were we. And then creeped in the intellect. You see the Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. The intellect is the cause of human evolution. So when the intellect kicked in, we started evolving. We started thinking. When we started thinking, the cells in the body started evolving and changing its pattern. The more we started thinking, the better we started becoming. It's all the mind. Evolution has happened through the interference of the mind and mainly the cells. How the cells are evolving. Now, for example, in our body, if there is any cut or any wound or any ill health that we have, and the doctor gives you a medicine. Once the doctor gives you a medicine, you consume it, it is administered to you, and then what does the medicine work? Is the medicine the only thing which is working? Not really. The ones, if it, let's say you've taken a tablet, it has to be digested, it has to be ingested. That has to be in the bloodstream, and it has to go to those affected areas, whether it is an antibiotic or if it is, if you have to kill a virus in the body or a bug or whatever. So there is a process which happens in the body with the medicine. Medicine works, but it is also through the process you consume, then the digestive process, and then it gets into the blood and then it starts working. Or if it is injected directly to the blood also, it will start going and working to that particular organ. So there is a process. Medicines only cannot help. Medicines are the main things, but there are things which the process of the body which actually works. Doctor also tells you it takes time. Body will heal itself. The wound will heal itself. You apply any ointment or anything and treat it, nurture it, clean it, or whatever. You doctor sutures it, stitches it, or whatever. But it takes 3 days, 5 days, 7 days for it to grow. The cells, the tissues are growing back. That is the structure. Main thing we need to understand is the bodily structure. How we are healing ourselves, how the body is healing itself, how consistently the cells are being manufactured, how the body is recreating itself consistently. The aging process is due to the weakness or the lack of good quality cells in the body. And that is due to your interference of the mind. In order to make sure that the quality of cells are good, strong, you have to do certain things, which is meditation, exercise, right kind of food. Most important, be positive, be happy. There is no point in cribbing. These are all things which are said in spiritual books as well. They are all pure books of science, if you ask me. Because all that they are saying is be happy, practice gratitude. These are all positive virtues. What happens is the body is beautiful. It becomes better. Your cells are multiplying and the strength of the cells are good. So you're fine. You're good. Healthy body is healthy soul, says Swami Vivekananda. Likewise, these are all things which the spirituality also teaches to make sure that you are fine. You are better. Now, giving an example of and of course, the mind is the monkey which is interfering with your good health. So, tame the mind. Don't stress yourself. Be calm. Be happy. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be pleasant, peaceful. Everybody deserves, and we can be. How do we do it? Tame your Shadvargas, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. I'm not saying that you should not work or you should not have ambitions. Avariciousness is bad. Ambition is very good. Comparison. Don't compare yourself with anybody. You are very unique by yourself. Be happy. Outbeat yourself. Compete with yourself. Become better than what you were, not somebody else. Be at peace. जो था मैं उससे मैं अच्छा बनूंगा. किसी और से अच्छा बनने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है. सो जस्ट बी योर सेल्फ. जस्ट outbeat yourself. Become better than what you were. There is no competition outside of you. Evolve better. Be at peace. Be happy. Your guru interferes in terms of anything sadness. Leave it to him. Put your efforts on. Keep your efforts on. Be happy. Not that you should, not be ambitious. You should be. But at the same time, try to be content with whatever you have. You have this one life. And next birth, when you take, you don't know about your previous birth, all wiped out. So this birth is this reality, the present reality, be in the present. Don't stress too much. Healthy body is healthy soul. So this is exactly how it works. Now, just one last example I will definitely, want to share with you. We know the yogis in Himalayas or any plant, but mainly Himalayas. Why I'm quoting Himalayas is because that is where the weather is very adverse. Extreme cold. no access to medical facilities, no access to modern infrastructure, no access to anything, no access to the high quality of food that we consume. They live on basics. How is it that they live so long? How is it that they are so healthy? How is it that their body is able to endure the adverse weather? How? They live so long. People say, oh, they meditate. That's why, of course. But that is just a superficial statement. If you dive deep into it, what the meditation does, it heals the body. It helps the cells, health of the cells to be intact or better. It strengthens and makes sure the longevity of the telomeres is good. The length and the strength of the telomeres are good. That is how they are in dhyana. They are most importantly, they are in a state of sthita prajna, absolutely peaceful bliss. No Arishad Vargas, none of those six attributes. Simple, peaceful. They live long. There are certain saints, yogis, and sadhus and avadhutas in that region, the Himalayan region. They're ageless. They don't know how long they have been living. They say that, well, I have seen this happening in this place, like the freedom struggle, or people who are far beyond us, First World War or Second World War. In fact, there are certain veteran soldiers of First World War or Second World War who are yogis and sadhus today still living. And you can check it out. You go to a place called Vishnupada. Vishnupada is above and beyond Badrinath, the last village of India. And beyond that, keep walking or keep going. You traverse for at least another 20-25 kilometers further up. There's a place called Vishnupada. There are yogis and sadhus. Indian Army knows about them. No age. And when you meet them, they don't look a day more than 40 or 50 years, and they are there for about 150 or more than that. We don't know. How is it? And no access to, as I mentioned, medical facility, modern infrastructure, high quality food, nothing. Simple living. That is because they are in a state of sthita prajna, absolute state of balance, bliss. Nothing affects them. The main thing is, the bottom line is, the cells of the human body. Interference of your emotions and mind is the one which is destroying. And suddenly you're so stressed that because of that stress, consistent stress, the cells will lose the control of moderate multiplication and endless rapid multiplication, which is called cancer, which is endless or, without a control of uncontrolled multiplication of WBC, white blood corpuscles, turns into cancer. So it's the mind. So long as we are concerned, and it is the cells so long as the body is concerned. And the connect between those two is the cause of either misery or positiveness, or good feeling, or good or bad. It all depends on the mind, the interaction of the mind with the cell. And as I was mentioning, human evolution happened only because of the cells multiplying in a way it should. The way we have evolved is based on the pattern of the cells, organs have evolved because the mind has consistently interfered with the cell. The intellect, the gray cells, quantum of gray cells has increased in the brain. Everything is because of the mind. What you think is what you become. It is just not a metaphoric philosophical statement. What you think is what you become. I'll give you one last final example of how the cells will work in the body, how the physical manifestation of a person happens. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he wanted to experience the presence of Lord Hanuman, first outside of him, and then he wanted to experience the presence or become Lord Hanuman himself. And we all know how Lord Hanuman is. Was he really like that, or even that? Anyway, that we'll rest it aside. That's a separate subject. So whatever the mind visualized or thought or believed how Lord Hanuman is, and on that state and on that appearance of Lord Hanuman, when Ramakrishna Paramahansa started meditating, experiencing Lord Hanuman within himself, he started looking like, he started transforming like, and most important, a tail started growing from the bottom of the spine, and that portion, a small tail started growing. How is it happening? Because Ramakrishna Paramahansa thinks he is Hanuman, not thinks, he experiences Hanuman with himself. He attains the oneness with Lord Hanuman, not as Hanuman becoming him, he becoming Hanuman. We always say in our philosophy, I am not God, God is me, right? It's like I am not God, but God is me. It's a very philosophical and a metaphoric statement. However, we'll get into that in another subject. But this is exactly, I am not Hanuman, but Hanuman is me, is what Lord Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa feels and thinks. And that becomes a reality. And his body starts transforming like Hanuman's, that of Lord Hanuman's, and the tail starts growing. How is it happening? Because what he feels, what he thinks, and what he experiences, what he firmly believes in, is what he becomes, and the cells in the body will start evolving or creating the belief of Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna knows Hanuman as a form. That form of Hanuman is what I am, is what Ramakrishna believes. So he starts becoming that form of Hanuman himself. And that manifestation of the physical self of Ramakrishna Paramahansa, when it happens, when he thinks that he's Lord Hanuman, the tail starts growing. How is it all happening? The thoughts into reality, the oneness with Lord Hanuman into reality. And what is happening? The cells are growing. The new organ is getting developed. A tail is being developed. Just this is a classic example of absolute pure science. People have spoken ill about Ramakrishna also, that he was schizophrenic and he was imagining that he was feeding Ma Kali every day, all that things, but it is real. Because it is backed by science. The cells are something which creates what you believe in. You believe in good, good thing is there. You believe in negativity, your body turns negative. You believe that you will consistently, eternally be young and youthful, you will be. You feel is okay, it is a matter of time. I'm already 40, 50, 60, 70. I'm going to grow old. This is going to happen. What you start believing, your cells will start manifesting. Ramakrishna felt and believed and experienced and became one with Lord Hanuman. He started becoming like one. The thoughts into reality, and even your cells are human cells, how it is evolving, your organs in the body is based on your experience, your reality, your belief system. That's it. I kept this example for the last. It's the easiest way of understanding. Pure science, pure physiology, pure theory of evolution. Everything happens. Your physically transformation happens based on your thoughts, based on your convictions, your feelings, your emotions, so on and so forth. That is how, then subsequently, when he experienced the oneness with Hanumanji and Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he did not experiment. He never thought that this will happen. He just experienced the oneness with Lord Hanuman. So this happened, and he was convinced that he is one with Lord Hanuman because it appeared in physical form also. In him, he transformed. So then he was thankful, he expressed gratitude, and he came to his normal self. The tail started shrinking, and everything, the hair which was heavily grown, came down, and he started becoming back to what his earlier physical form was. This is how the cells work. So, for us, the takeaway is be calm, be happy, try to be content, be ambitious, work hard, extremely hard, very ambitious, but don't be avaricious. Don't compare yourself with anybody. Do what you feel is good without harming others, without judging ourselves. Be at peace from within, and you will be happy. Believe that you will live however long you want to live. Trust me, you will live as healthy as you want to be. There is nothing which is not happening. Nothing is a magic. It's all science, it's all process, it's all nature. So the multiplication of cells and manifesting your good health, everything is in your hands. So these are few words regarding how the cells multiply and how we age or how we reverse our age. Right? Thank you. Thank you for your patient hearing. Sai Ram.